is Tracy, and today we're going to be talking about Ixalan cards. Today we're going to be talking about red cards. I've actually done white, blue, and black cards. If you want to check those out, I have a playlist which contains all of my set overviews that I've ever done, ever. So if you want to check those out. But basically in this video, oh, those are my headphones. They're like on the floor. I don't know why they're on the floor. They just are. And basically, I don't remember what I was going to say, but let's talk about red cards. The first card I want to talk about is Star of Extinction. I don't know why I started over that word right now. Okay, so it's 7 mana, destroy target. This card's so weird, I love it. It's destroy target land. It deals 20 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. Why did they pick the number 20? They could have picked the number 10. I think that would have sufficed, but we got 20. Card's very random, but very good. A really sweet board wipe. You're pretty much just going to wipe out everything with this. I mean, I realistically can't see you have something in this format with it being over... What is Paul saying? Oh. He said it's oddly relaxing to you, and I don't know why the wording of that, I'm like, I don't even remember what I said. I sent a message like 2 minutes ago and I don't even remember what I said. Anyways, this card's really sweet. You're basically just going to get rid of anything with this. Kind of reminds me of Blasphemous Act, which I really love, so yeah, card's great. The next card I want to talk about is Captivating Crew. Now, I think red is really notorious for having some sort of card that takes control of creatures, something like an act of treason. However, a lot of times those cards tend to be sorceries. I really love that this is a creature. It is 4 mana for a 4/3, 4 mana, you gain control of the target creature an opponent controls, you untap it, it gains haste, you only do the sorcery. Classic, we all know this is a very basic red mechanic that red is known for. However, I really love that this is a creature. And I love the fact that you can still attack with this creature. You don't need to tap Captivating Crew. You can just continuously, you can take realistically as many cards as you want. I think this is a really great late game card, or even in stages of kind of the early game where you take a card and smack it, you know, with, smack your opponent with it or something like that. Huge fan of this card. I think it's one of my favorite red cards in the set. Then we have Rampaging Ferocidon. I don't know how to say this, I'm sorry. But it is a 3 mana 3/3 with Menace. Players can't gain life. There's actually quite a bit of life gain in the set, lifelink, which I think makes this card really strong. It enters, whenever another creature enters the battlefield, this card deals 1 damage to it. Absolutely love this card. One of my favorites in red. One of the best red cards, I think, in the entire set that we've seen, that there are. Not that we've seen. The whole set's out. I'm tired, guys. Late in the night. It's not late in the night. It's 7:47, but that means I'm tired. I'm like an adult. So it's like when I'm an adult, I'm like, I get tired at random hours of the day. Yeah, card is really sweet. I also really love the fact that this card has Menace. I think for like a 3 mana 3/3 with Menace, I think that's already sweet. Just the addition of all those other things makes this card fantastic. I think this card should be a mythic, to be completely honest. I think it's kind of broken as a rare. There's a couple of rarities that I've totally disagreed with in this set, and this is definitely one of them. I think this card is just really busted. Avatar. This reminds me, well, hold up, before I get into this. It's a 6 mana 6/6. Whenever it enters the battlefield, it does 3 damage to target opponent and 3 damage to up to 1 creature. Target creature. So, you know, I don't know why, and tell me if anyone else has noticed this, or maybe it's just me because I'm an English major. I've noticed there's a lot of really weird, awkward wording in the set. Like, and deal 3 damage to up to 1 target creature. Why does it have to say up to 1 target creature? Why can't you just say, and 3 damage to 1 creature? Like, I don't understand. Like, some of the wording in this set is just really strange. It's probably just me who noticed that, let's be honest here. But, this reminds me a lot of the Titan, Inferno Titan. Yeah, is it that Titan? Yeah. Inferno Titan is like, you can just do, it's when it attacks, or when it enters the battlefield, you do 3 damage to creature or player. Card reminds me of this a lot. I think it's really sweet. After it does its thing, you're left with a 6/6. You're getting a lot of damage for what this creature is. The fact that you deal 3 damage to target opponent, and you deal 3 damage to a creature, and you get a 6/6. Like, you're getting 12 value out of 6 mana. Card is really great. Angrath's Modulars. I'm sorry guys, I'm so tired. I can't pronounce words right now. It's just a deal damage dude. It's a 7 mana 4/4, deals double damage. Really, really good. Love the fact that it says you control, so, you know, it's not like your opponent gets free damage flown around. Yeah, you just get to deal double damage places, and you're left with a 4/4 creature. Card's pretty good. Okay, then we have Tilonali's Skinshifter. First I saw this card and I was like, I gotta make sure I'm like reading this card right. I really, really like kind of like Shapeshifter, like kind of like S cards, and this one's really interesting. It's a 3 mana 0/1 with haste. When it attacks, it becomes a copy of another target non-legendary creature, attacking creature. So you do have to have like another one of your creatures attacking. So it has to just, it can't like attack alone. I mean, it can, or it's just like a 0/1 if you don't have like any buffs or anything like that. Yeah, this is a really interesting card. I like it. I think it's going to be very, very good. Because if you have like some giant dude, it just becomes a copy of it. But just know it says non-legendary, so don't try making a legendary with that. Because that also just wouldn't even work. Because you can't have like 2 legendaries of the same name. That just doesn't work. Oh, actually though, yeah, oh no, because it does become a copy of it, so yeah, okay. Psych myself out of that one. Okay, then we have Fiery, Cannonade? I love cards like this. I always find red has some sort of mini board wipe, I would call it, where it deals like 1 or 2 damage to some creatures. Really love these cards for like the sideboard. I know not a lot of people focus on that when you're drafting or when you're playing sealed, but I think cards like this are really sweet, even if you just toss one in your main board if you don't have a lot of, it's to non-pirates, so yeah. I think this card is really sweet, and it's only 3 mana for an instant. Runner. So, I really like this card because essentially it's going to be a 1 mana 2/2 with First Strike. Very, very basic. I think this is a really sweet uncommon though. I think with this red, I feel like a lot of people tend to associate red with having like cheap creatures like that red, white, aggressive kind of deck. And I've noticed that there's a lot of bigger dudes in red, which I think is sweet. And there weren't a lot of like notable cards that I wanted to talk about that were like 1/2 mana, something like that, creature-wise. But I think this card is really sweet for the sole fact of it's just a really aggressive red card, and I love cards like this. Yeah. The next card is Charging Monto, what I said earlier. It's a 5 mana 5/5 trample haste, very basic. I think this uncommon is really busted. What are you doing? I clicked on you. Oh my gosh, I can't today. Very basic, but very strong. I think this is a really excellent, aggressive, mid-range type card. I like it. Then we have Makeshift, oh my thing is covering it, it's Makeshift Munitons. This is basically the same card as, I always forget the name of it, is it Impact Tremors? No, not Impact Tremors. There's a card that's very similar to this, like a Goblin card. I run it in I'm Not the EDH, it's really sweet. But this one says Artifacts, so it's a little bit different. But it's 2 mana, you sack an artifact or a creature to do 1 damage to target creature or player. I love cards like this. I really love the fact that it is artifact or creature, so if you do have some artifacts, you can totally sack those. This is really good if someone is blowing up the board or you're blowing up the board, and it's just really good if you find you're at like a stage of the game where say like your opponent's at like 5 life and you're like, okay, I really need to kill my opponent, but I can't get through their wall. Our creatures are just going to trade with each other. Nothing productive is going to happen from me attacking. You know, that kind of weird stage in the game. A card like this is a really good solution out of that because you can just sack your dudes, you know, at the end of their turn or whatever after they didn't attack. You sack their dudes. You don't have to tap this enchantment. So you just sack them and then you get to deal a boatload of damage places. Absolutely, absolutely fantastic. And if you know me, you know enchantments, they have to be really good to impress me. I really like this card. I think it's very solid. Okay, cool. Then we have a reprint of Lightning Strike, which I'm sure a lot of people are really excited to see this being reprinted. Very, very basic. There's not a lot to say with this card. It's instant speed, 3 damage. You get to bop it at a creature or a player, wherever you want to toss that lightning, whatever you want to do, you know, you just get to like kill something. Or again, your opponent's at 3 life and sometimes you just top deck a lightning strike because you're that good. Very, very solid, uncommon, definitely want to be playing with like a lot of this card. And the last red card I want to talk about is Thrash of Raptors. I like the flavor of this, I think it's sweet. It's 4 mana 3/3. As long as you control another dinosaur, it gets +2/+0 and it's trample. So for 4 mana, you're getting a 5/5, I'm sorry, a 5/3 with trample. Seems like a pretty sweet deal to me. You do need to have another dinosaur on board, but I would definitely run a couple of these if I was running a dinosaur tribal deck. I think it's very solid. So, hey guys, that is it. That is it for talking about red Ixalan cards. I'm very excited to go to the pre-release of this. I think I mentioned it in a couple of videos that I am going to the pre-release, and I haven't been to a pre-release in a really long time, so we'll see how good my sealed pool is to me. So, yeah, that's everything. I'll talk to you guys later.